Hello and welcome back to Cycle Fab. I'm Larry. In today's video, I'll be working on the GS550 Suzuki, and I'm not getting away from powder coating videos. It's just that I need to get this other project done. I started it several months ago and then kind of got off on it and went into more of the powder coating and also the diffusers. That's when I came out with them. And I've got a great response from you guys over that, really. I've sold, I don't know, over a couple of hundred of those things. So anyway, back to this. Now, this has been sitting out in the weather since 1993, or at least that's what was last year it was registered. And they're pretty nasty, as you can see here. These are all the side covers for the engine. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them in the media cabinet and, aluminum oxide and blast everything down and then take it to get it outgassed in my oven. But before that, I don't have any video footage of this because it's really kind of boring. But if any of you guys have ever worked on old bikes, these casings right here, they have a clear coat over them of some type to keep them from oxidating. Well, the best thing to do with that is to go ahead and get that off first with a paint stripper. You can even use, now I've never used this, I've heard it works, Easy Off, that's it. Spray that on there and apparently this stuff just bubbles off. Well, like I said, I'm not going to use Easy Off. I have paint stripper. And I put some paint stripper on it, cleaned everything off with a wire brush and washed it off before I hit it with aluminum oxide, just to make sure that I get all that off. The reason why is because if you leave that on there, if there's just a hint of it on there, and you powder coat over the top of that, it ruins your powder coat. So, be very well aware of that. I want to powder coat it in polished aluminum by Prismatic powders and just try to bring that aluminum look back. Which I think I can definitely do. I mean, I've used polished aluminum before, powder from Prismatic, and it's an excellent powder. I love it. And it would work great in this situation right here because I do not want to hand polish any of this at all. I've done my share of hand polishing in the past, and it's very time consuming, and I just, don't want to do that. My time is very valuable. Now, after I hit it with the polished aluminum powder, I want to go back with a matte clear coat, also by Prismatic powders. Now, the links for these two powders will be down below in the description area, and you're welcome to go down there and check them out and get some if you like it. Now, Prismatic does not pay me to talk about their powders at all. I wish they would, but anyway. I just want to get with you guys and let you know what's going on. I'm kind of moving towards not really a different type of showcase or anything like that. It's just that I really like building bikes, and I'm going to implement a lot of powder coating in this build series of this street tracker. So anyway, you're welcome to join me, and let's go ahead and get started with this. By the way, if you like this video, please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and go ahead and hit that notification bell too while you're at it. Now let's go ahead and get on with this. Well, these are out of the blast cabinet, and now for the next step, which is outgassing. I want to go ahead and put them in my oven at 300 degrees for 30 minutes. And that should get everything out that we really don't want in there. Now, as far as outgassing, I've been asked, what is it that we're outgassing? Well, it's contaminants. As far as being specific on contaminants, it could be anything. Typically it's oil, but I'm sure there's anything that was in the atmosphere, the environment when this thing was setting up for so long. There's a wide variety of contaminants that can get in there. Anyway, we're going to heat them up and get them out best we can. If you don't do that, it can lead to a very bad experience powder coating. What I mean by that is if I went ahead and powder coated this, it may or may not do it, but if it did outgas with the powder on top of it, it would make kind of like little geysers, little pimples or pop marks in there, and it's just ruined, So you want to outgas everything that you do, really, just to be on the safe side. So, store in the oven, like I said, 300 degrees for 30 minutes, and that should be fine for these parts. Now, I have heard people doing it 350 degrees for 15 minutes or 30 minutes. It all varies. But in this case, the main reason why I'm sticking at 300 degrees, well, I've got this sight glass right here, all right? Now, the sight glass is fine. This is for the oil reservoir to, let me know how much oil is in the engine. And it's not broken. I'm not going to take it out. I tried to tap it out lightly. It didn't want to go. So I was like, you know what? I want to see if I can just tape it off and powder coat around it. I'm going to outgas this with the sight glass in it. More than likely, it will be okay because this is an air-cooled engine. It operates at a very high temperature. The oil is sitting right on the other side of this glass. That doesn't melt it, so I doubt that powder coating it is going to melt it. But anyway, that's one reason why I'm keeping it down to 300 degrees. Now, when I go to powder coat it, yeah, it's going to be up at 400 degrees. Whatever the recommended time is for polished aluminum, I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, it's not going to reach a critical temperature for an extended amount of time to cause that sight glass to melt. Anyway, so let's go ahead and outgas these, and next time you see them, I'll be throwing some powder on them, then going into the oven. So let me go ahead and get with that. Hey guys, a couple of things I want to cover with you that I forgot to mention earlier is that when you're outgassing, typically the ovens that are used, like in my case, is just an old kitchen oven that I bought for 50 or 75 bucks, something like that. I don't really remember. Well, these are used ovens. They've been cooked in before, so the grates are really nasty. Even if you do clean them up, there's still some of that nastiness on the inside. So what you want to do is take some tin foil, preferably the thickest tin foil you can find, and cover those grates up because you don't want that contamination on your parts on the backside or anywhere because it can cause you problems later on. And putting the tin foil over, makes a protective barrier between that. I do a lot of things or not say a lot of things because I just take it for granted that, you guys know, and, a lot of you don't. But, before you powder coat, especially with these old motorcycles, there are some things that you want to tape off, all right? Now, this is going to have oil on the inside of it when it's running. Well, you don't want to powder coat that. You just want bare aluminum. More than likely, the powder coating the inside of it wouldn't hurt anything. I doubt that there would be a bad reaction between the oil and the powder coat, but it's better to play it safe than sorry. So, you want to tape all this off like this piece here. See, this is all taped solid. And that will not get powder coated, but the exterior part of it will be powder coated. So that's what I'm doing right now before I take it over to the powder coat booth and put my first coat of powder on it. Anyway, I just wanted to touch base with you on that. But also, again, with these older bikes, like, this piece here, this is the sprocket cover. And it's basically just a dust cover, so I will powder coat both sides of this. This will not be taped. This right here, this actually is the cover for the ignition system. And it's electronic ignition system. There's obviously no oil in there either. So this will get powder coated on the inside as well. Like I said, the only parts that are going to be taped like this is the valve covers. This is obviously going to be taped up because it will have oil running through it. And anyway, just want to let you guys know about that. And let me get finished taping. I got everything taped off where I don't want the powder to go, and I've got everything wiped down with acetone. So what I'm going to do now is powder coat it with a polished aluminum. I'll give you guys a look at it after that's done and cooled down. Then I want to go back and I want to spray it with a matte clear coat, and I'll show you what that looks like. We'll be back over at the table and you'll see a before and after group picture of them. But this is going to come out really nice. I just need to be careful about not putting my powder on too thick, not getting orange peel, the regular routine. The more times you do this, the better you get at it. It's following a strict procedure of, production, basically. So let me go ahead and get to this. You guys can watch a little bit, and next time we'll you know, like I said, I'll come back and show you what it looks like just with this powder on there, then, you know, with the matte on there. I'm getting a really good ground on this, a good contact. My gun is just set on the first setting, 15 kilovolts, because I have noticed that if I turn it up to, you know, 2500 kilovolts or 25 kilovolts, that I will put the powder on way too thick. So that's something you have to watch. And also, do not pull this trigger all the way down. You just kind of feather it on these. Oh, and something else too. These diffusers that I make work excellent for doing odd shaped parts like this where you have real small little nooks and crannies. So if you're interested in these diffusers, just go down to the description below and check them out. There'll be links to them. They'll take you to where you can get one. These came out pretty sweet, and I like it. I like the fact that I went with polished aluminum. You know, I could have went with any color, but I actually have a lot of the polished aluminum powder, and I just wanted the motor to stand out, but not to the point that it was like, hey, you know, look at me. So I just went back to, you know, original aluminum, which is how the engine was originally. But now the jugs, I'm going to paint them black with a high temp paint, just because they get hot, and also the heads. But anyway, I want to go ahead and put the matte on here after they cool down somewhat, and then you guys will see them on the table laid out like they were previously before I ever touched them. This came out nice. I won't say it came out better than what I expected. It came out about what exactly I was expecting, because I know my abilities with using the Eastwood, and they're okay. You know, I mean, I'm as good probably as I'm ever going to get with it, but that's okay. One reason why I went with the matte is because versus high gloss or like the polished aluminum look, if I would have went over that with a high gloss clear coat, then all the little nicks and dings and, you know, hiccups, like, you know, lint for one, and orange peel, you know, which the orange peel was not bad at all. I mean, a little bit here and there, but not bad. Anyway, that's augmented with a high gloss. Since I used a matte, that's pretty much gone. I mean, you can really put an eye on it and see, yeah, I see some here or there, but now it really covers up a lot. It saves your ass, basically. But I came out with a good product for what I'm using it for. Now, I wouldn't say, yeah, this is show quality. No, it's not. This is just me not wanting to polish aluminum, and I can easily powder coat it, bring it back to life, to where it's appeasable to everybody's eyes, and it stands out and looks good and clean and nice lines and so on and so forth. But yeah, it came out nice. Now, here's a before picture of what this group looked like, and here's an after picture of it. So you can see the drastic difference between the two. And I even set a couple of pieces off and, you know, photographed them just individually, you know, like the oil pan here. Before and after, and you know, it's amazing what just powder coating can do. Now, there's a lot of treatment to the substructure itself, aluminum oxide in the blast cabinet, and of course, you know, going through the whole procedure of, you know, powder coating it. I'm happy with it, and you know, versus hand polishing, yeah, it's great. Thanks for watching, and if you like, please subscribe and hit that like button, and go ahead and hit that notification bell too while you're at it. That way you know when my next video is coming out. I took a couple of weeks off, needed to take care of some things around here and basically chores. Uploading a video every Sunday now, probably about 9 o'clock in the morning. So anyway, if you want to catch me, that's where you can catch me. Thanks for joining me. You guys take care now. Bye.